Look, Brother Costa just laid it out. We can literally end the show right now and go home. And go, we're already at home, but you know what I'm saying, yeah? The brother just killed the ballistics. Yeah, we have Professor Konsu with us. Oh my gosh, and it's been a long time. Me and this brother was meant to be dropping some jewels together. You don't know. Look at the bad man. When you got things like that, you don't pay rent, you don't pay anything, but no taxes, nothing at all. So that's a king. That's Professor Konsu. So in a second, I'm going to be letting him in. He's going to be our first one. Professor Konsu.
Yes, greetings.
Greetings, King. But brother, I'm just going to hand over to you. I don't have to say nothing, brother. It's yours now.
All right. Okay. Well, greetings, family.
Greetings.
I would love to see you all, but I say good to see you all, even though I can't see you. But I'm just gonna boot up, and you let me know if you can see this.
Yes, we can, King.
All right. Well, I know I have limited time here, so I'll just go straight into it. First of all, by introducing myself and who am I. For those of you who haven't heard of me, my name is Andre Sankofa. Also known as Brother Konsu or Professor Konsu. Basically, Brother Andrew, beloved Brother Andrew, was the one who kind of ushered me in 15 years or so ago into this field. And you might see similarities in how I present because I worked in schools with Andrew for quite a while back in the day. And just to learn my craft and passion, which is really teaching our young people and educating our community. So I'm an author and lecturer, also Man Heal Thyself trained in the Queen Afua University, also a rites of passage specialist. And I lecture predominantly in Afrofuturism and African history, but not coming from the past. Afrofuturism, as you can see from this video, is projecting who we will become into the future. So that's one of the many hats that I wear. My background history is I have a fascination of studying sacred religions. So I have not only lived, but been a Muslim. I've studied Islam, Judaism. I have been a Buddhist. I've studied Hindu meditation, Ushai Reiki, Teo and African spirituality, Tantra, self-development, landmark education, and neuro-linguistic programming, also Kemetic spirituality, as taught by our Saraset Society, so initiated in our Saraset Society, as well as Nubian Nation, which is the roots of where I come from. I'm also director of the Manhood Academy for Boy, one of the co-founders of the Manhood Academy. And over 15 years, I've been in independent education. I'm also a trained psychotherapeutic counselor. And at current, I work in a SAMH school, a social, emotional, and mental health therapeutic high school, which is a bit of a mouthful. But that's basically who I am. And I've written 2 books, which you can get online, or you can DM me at Professor Konsu. It's right down here, Prof. Kentsu. In fact, like me, get your phone right now. 400 of you plus in there, get your phone, because I like to be liked. Everyone likes Instagram friends. Can I have like 100 new Instagram friends? Professor Konsu, you get your phone out and you put Professor Konsu in, and yeah, let's be friends, okay? So yeah, I'm one of the directors of the Manhood Academy. We founded Manhood Academy in 2016, and yeah, just doing work with the younguns, and that's just my passion, really. Really kick-started by Andrew Muhammad, who brought me into high schools, and I just said, yeah, man, this is actually what I want to do. And all these years later, Manhood Academy was formed. So I was just going to go into one of the subjects that are quite passionate to me, and that is our young people. And just to have a critical analysis, or maybe an analysis of our young people at the moment. Very interesting though, and it's actually a blessing, as Andrew said, what's happening right now, because things are quiet on the streets, you know. It's like I don't call it isolation, I call it we're all in hibernation. Because after hibernation is activation.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to skim through a theory that I have. This is the Professor Konsu theory. It's called the Eric Killmonger theory. And I have a whole 2-hour lecture on Black Panther coming from a different perspective. So I want to focus on this, the Eric Killmonger theory, which is sadness as a child and anger as an adult. We're talking about our young people here. Now, if you remember in the film Black Panther, if you look down here, you'll see a young Eric Killmonger in a cartoon with a basketball. If you remember, he was playing, he was with his friends, he was having fun, and something happened. Something happened which changed his whole worldview into adulthood. And that analogy I connect to our young people. Now, this is a Konsu fact, okay? This is a fact, beloved community. British children are the most unhappiest in the world.
Wow.
Google it yourself. In fact, go on Google now, because you all got your phones while you're watching, and Google it, okay? Growing numbers of children are experiencing arrested developments due to toxic pressures of modern life. And that source is from the children's movement, the United Nations Children Agency, and a study backed by Oxford University. So this isn't just some
Professor.
Random information, okay? British children on all continents of the world, British children are the most unhappiest. All right? So we can connect that analogy to Eric Killmonger, and we'll go into why in this brief dissertation. So superseding many third world countries, children in the UK are ranked amongst the unhappiest in the world by UNICEF, the Children's World Project reports, etc. Growing numbers of UK children are failing to develop properly. Why is this? Because of the toxic pressures of modern life. British children are also among the most academically tested in the Western world, after being pushed in formal schooling at an increasingly young age, and more likely to be exposed to junk food and poor diets elsewhere. And this is the statistics from Save the Children. So for more than 5 years, evidence has been mounting that children in Britain are emotionally worse off than many developing third world countries, even war-torn countries. And UNICEF ranked the UK at the bottom of the league table for child well-being across industrialized countries by looking at poverty, family, relationships, and health. So ranked top on the list were some European countries. Well, that ushers me in anyway to the Eric Killmonger theory. So I use the analogy of the higher self and lower self, which was utilized in the Black Panther. So if we connect this to our young people, I mean, these are stereotypical images of what a lot of our young people really want to become, and is their highest aspiration. So
good teaching,
in youth
brother.
work,
Good teaching.
yes, King. In youth work, you know, we just we break it down and we make them very self-aware of the stereotypes that is literally being force-fed down our young people. All right. So higher self and lower self. So in my field of work, we encourage our young people to break the stereotypes of the lower self and shift into your higher vibration. Now, we know this is esoteric concepts, but we make it very bite-sized for our young people in terms of the analogies. And just like Brother Andrew, we may use the analogy of the red pill, blue pill, and the Matrix. We may use Marvel comics, you know, just to break down concepts so our young people can become self-aware of the choices they have to make. So there's two movies that are quite interesting. Top Boy and Blue Story. Phenomenal movies, amazing cinematography.
Absolutely.
However, there is a downside to that, and unfortunately, it's glorifying street culture, even though for some this is a very real parallel world. So in terms of Top Boy and Blue Story, this is not what we encourage our young people to aspire to. Even though, I mean, even working in my school, there was a lot of turbulence after those movies came out, because the young people were just so amped into a way of being that they could mimic. So that leads me into one more fact before we finish up here. And I want to throw the word in neurocinematics. And I know Andrew is very well schooled on this. Neurocinematics is a term coined by Ushai Hossant of Princeton University, who was amongst the first to investigate how the brain responds to movies using fMRI brain scanner. The minds of our children begin as unmarked slates, especially written upon by the movies. Children are very vulnerable, and through their thoughts and behaviors can be molded by what they see on screen according to social learning theory. Children and adolescents learn by observing and imitating what they see on the screen, particularly when these behaviors seem realistic and are rewarded. Children tend to view their favorite movies repeatedly, so any values, positive or negative, may be reinforced and internalized. So films can be undoubtedly have a negative impact on our children. The negative impacts may include increased acts of violence. If children frequently observe violence in films or music and video games, they are likely to imitate these behaviors and act more aggressively among their peers. Okay, so this is a fact. This is science. This isn't just my opinion. This is scientific analogy. So I add that, and I've made up a new word, a brand new word. This is a Professor Konsu word, neuroacoustics. Now I connect that to drill and trap music, which is detrimental to the spirit of our young people. I love the beat and I love some of the music, but in terms of some of the content, you know, we really got to school our young people up in differentiating between different things. So sadness as a child and anger as a teen. So this is what it looks like. This is a West London incident that happened sometime last year. And this is what's happening. This is the Eric Killmonger theory. I could imagine these 6 boys when they were little tiny little pieces. They were so cute, were so naive, probably high achievers in school. And look at their faces now. What happened? All right. The music influences, the movies influence, etc., etc. So as I round up, I just want to leave you with a short story about the late, great Ethan Ned Bruce. Who is Ethan Ned Bruce? Ethan Ned Bruce was one of my students when I worked for an organization called Origin Rites of Passage. Ethan Ned Bruce, this is me with him. We were doing a forest retreat. I'm probably saying something like, Ethan, man, just focus, man. You'll be good, man. If you focus in life, you'll be okay. All right? The last time I saw Ethan was on a DLR in East London. And Ethan said to me, yeah, man, I'm cool now, you know, Konsu, man. I got a girl. I'm in college right now. I'm off-road, man. I'm good. So I said to him, yeah, man. He showed me the picture of his beautiful queen. I said, stay with your queen and you'll be good. Just stay with her, all right? You don't need to be on road. Unfortunately, the road got him, all right? So I round up by saying, here's some of the things in terms of the problems and solutions with our young people. The environmental problems with our young people, trauma, school environmental family, feeling unheard or blocked self-expression, post-traumatic stress, stressed out kids, urban toxic environments or products of the environment, sadness as a child and anger as an adult, father hunger in some or many cases with our boys and girls, a stereotyped sense of hyper masculinity, feeling unprotected, which leads to self-defense, and trapped in emotional pain. So some of the work, the solutions myself, Brother Andrew, and a whole brigade of elders put into place is preventative work. So healing early trauma, a space for self-expression, being non-judgmental, listening to our young people without opinion, establishing authentic trust and rapport, safe spaces so our young people can feel protected. Even if they're all strong and rolled, they all want to feel protected, trust me. Holistic support for the family and teaching our young people emotional regulation, how to manage conflict and anger. So I'm going to round it up there. And just by saying, I hope, Brother Andrew, you don't mind, but I've got a live radio show on Friday.
Teach, brother.
On Black Eyes TV 7. So you got your phones, okay? So go to YouTube on your phone and type in Black Ice TV7 and put an alarm bell on my lecture, which will be on Sunday. And I'm going to be going to some metaphysics. I'm going to be breaking down the 2012 London Olympics, which had high symbolism of the coronavirus. That's all I'm going to say. Tune in. And I'm a factologist, so I'm not coming from conspiracy theory, only the facts, you know. That's what Brother Andrew taught me, you know. Check out Black Ice TV. I'm doing the coronavirus diaries. I'm doing a series of 3. I'm not going to become like a coronavirus lecturer for the rest of my life, but I'm doing 3 lectures on where we're at right now with this pandemic. I broke down in a previous lecture about NHS Seco, which I saw a snippet of earlier to do with the Windrush generation. So I'll be happy to bring that to this platform. But check it out on Black Ice TV also. All right. And I'll be doing something on 5G and holistic EMF protection. So that's me. And these are my books and products if you're interested in what I have to say. And I would say with that, I'd say thank you for having me. Love you all and bless.
Brothers and sisters, please, put your points down on your Q&A. If you loved what you heard, I already had people coming through saying, this brother's speaking the truth. Of course he's speaking the truth. That's why we've been rolling. He's Professor Konsu. Brother, our time is very limited, but how can they get in touch with you and Manhood Academy?
Well, Professor Konsu, just put in at PROF. In fact, it's right there, okay? Hashtag Professor Konsu. You'll find me hanging out on Instagram a lot. I mean, that's where I live more than any other social media platform. So go to Instagram, Professor Konsu, and that'll keep you updated on all the things I'm doing.
Brothers and sisters, man, we don't have no half-wits on our show, brothers and sisters. This is hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Brother Konsu, we bow to you, brother. Keep up the great works that you're doing. I bear witness to what you're doing, brother. I see it all the time. Yes. And we really do thank you. Sister Sharon Query says, very true words, my brother, regarding what you're saying about our children and youth. And we've got, what's that? The professor was fire. That's coming from America, brother. That's what in Texas. Yes. She said, literally, the professor was fire. Brother Leonard says, teach, professor. We got, thank you, Professor Konsu. Very informative, knowledgeable. Thank you. Love the solutions. Wow. So, brother, this community is speaking to you, King. Keep up the great work all the time. We thank you, King.
All right.
All right, then. Yes.